Okay, I think we're recording.
I think so.
And I am Pat Holten from Life as It Should Be. And this is Jennifer Kohler from Tap2Drain.
Hi.
From Abbotsford, is that what it's called? Canada?
Mission, actually. So
Okay.
we service Chilliwack, Mission, Maple Ridge, Abbotsford, pretty much everywhere north of the Fraser and east of the Fraser.
And for all my friends in the state of Washington, you're just kind of across the border to the north.
Yes, we are.
On Bellingham.
Yeah, we're just about 20 minutes from the Sumas border crossing.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you can see America from one.
Yes, we can, and we visit quite often since your gas prices are so good.
I want to get up there and visit because it's not as far as it sounds.
No, it's not, and we'd love to have you.
Oh, how fun would that be? We would start planning that.
Yes.
So we started talking through a mutual friend on drains and issues.
Yes, when I saw your picture of that lovely thing that you pulled out of your dishwasher drain. We are kindred spirits.
That gunk, right?
Yeah.
That we don't think we have because it's soap and a few other things, but it clogs up to drain.
Yes, it does.
So what kind of things do you see in drains?
Well, we've had many years of experience. All of our techs have 10 years plus experience with drain cleaning, and we have some really heavy duty equipment. So it runs from what you're looking at in your dishwasher or your kitchen sink, especially if you've got a garburator or anything like that, you can get a lot of buildup. And what that buildup is actually the biologics, so the soap bits, the skin particles, hair, all of that kind of stuff. Soap scum builds up quite quickly. And even though you think, oh, it's just a dishwasher tablet, it actually does have a lot of biological soap components into it. And that's what causes your pipes to start to narrow, just like an artery would.
Okay.
So when you're pulling that stuff out of your dishwasher, all around inside that pipe is also a buildup, like a clogged artery. So we've seen, well, there's one story I've written on our blog called The Case of the Poopy Princess. And one little girl had flushed her princess doll down the toilet and had to rescue it. And one other one that comes to mind that was quite shocking, actually. We did a main sewer line. So when all of the drains from all of your sinks and all of your toilets and everything in your house goes out of your house, there's a one main sewer line. And normally it's about 4 inches around. So it's quite big, but it can build up over time. And we did a main sewer line clear, and we pulled out actually a set of teeth. And so the poor plumber had a little bit of a heart attack thinking, oh my God, have they dissolved a body? And now we're filling the teeth. It turns out it was an old pair of dentures that I'm guessing somebody had lost at some point. And it's gotten caught, and it now caused a lot of problems with stuff getting caught on it. So those are the two kind of big creepy ones that there's, but you get everything. You can pull everything out of a drain. I mean, it all depends on what you're putting down it, and there's a really good list of what not to put down your drain and what to put down your drain.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what's on the list of what not to put down your drain, and what's on the list of what to put down the drain?
Okay, so mostly this happens in kitchens. People with carburetors think that they can carburate everything. Well, you can't.
And in America, that would be a disposer.
Yes, a garbage disposal. Okay. Yes, yeah. Canadian to American, right? Yeah, a garbage disposer. So the one that sits in your drain and connects to your sink drain, right? And then you give it a flick and it everything up and goes through. So there's a few, that's probably the number one thing where we see a lot of people not maintaining properly. And if we're going to be doing, which is your kind of forte, is cleaning and maintaining, that's your number one space where you have a lot of control over what happens with that drain. So depending on the size of your carburetor, there are different horsepowers of carburetors. There's quarter horsepower all the way up to 1.1 horsepower. A quarter horse is normally what's installed in new construction houses. Okay. So it's a very low power. The most that you can put down there is basic kitchen scraps off your plates when you're finished. No bones, no eggshells, no peels. None of that kind of stuff should be going down your carburetor. Now, when you get up to something like an InSinkErator Pro, which is a 1.1 horsepower carburetor,
Okay.
then we're talking about you can put chicken bones down it. You can put coffee grinds down it.
Okay.
All of these things do build up over time in the drain, because even though you are carbureting it, and I don't know if anybody knows this, but carburetors don't actually use blades to cut the stuff up. It's actually what's called a lug. So there's 4 plates of grinding in the InSinkErator Pro 1.1s,
Okay.
and it goes through 4 stages, and the lug nuts actually will turn and crush it and pulverize it into a liquid. And
Okay.
that's why you can have them on your drains. But that liquid does build up. So one thing you can do is carburate ice. Pour a bunch of ice down there and carburate it out.
That helps?
Yeah. What that does is solidify any of the fats or greases that have been sitting in the system, and allows the carburetor to move them through with water. The second thing you can do is use oranges or lemons. Oranges or lemons. If you cut pieces of those and put them down your carburetor, the citric acid inside those citrus will actually help clean out all the grease. And the grease is what's causing the problem. The grease is what builds up. The biologics, the grease, all that kind of stuff is what builds up. So if you put those down your carburetor, it will help clean all of that stuff out. Another product that we have is called Bio One. And what it is an enzyme that you pour 2 ounces down your drain every month. And any drains in your home, carburetor it works really great for. Not only does it reduce the smell coming from any drain, but it also eats all the biological stuff that's holding any scraps or anything in there. It's an enzyme, it's a bacterial enzyme that multiplies on itself 20-fold every half hour.
Okay. And I can get that at the grocery store? Or?
No, you cannot buy it at the grocery store. I'm in the U.S. I'm pretty sure Steve's Plumbing in Seattle.
Okay.
He's a friend of ours. I'm pretty sure he has it in your area, and in our area we carry it.
Bio One.
So, yeah, Bio One or Bio Smart or Drain Made. It goes by 3 different names, but Bio One, Bio Smart is pretty much. And Steve's Plumbing, I think he's out of Bothell, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
But they're really good people. If you ever need a plumber in your area, he's a good guy to call.
And what's his name?
Steve. It's actually called Steve's Plumbing.
Steve's Plumbing. Okay.
Yeah. Him and his wife Rachel. We've known them for several years. Really good people.
Okay.
It's somebody you could actually trust to come and do your stuff without, taking advantage of you.
Okay. Yeah. So I squeeze lemons for lemon juice, and I threw them in the garbage. So I should get them out of the garbage and put them on the drain.
Yeah, as long as you've got a carburetor that's got high enough power. If you have a low horsepower carburetor, don't put any of that stuff down. The only thing that you're going to want to put down is a Bio One type product. Do not use liquid plumber. Do not use Drano. That stuff is what we call caustic lye. It's soda lye, right? Okay. If you ever need to dispose of a body, go right ahead. It's great. However, what it does is it actually will eat the chrome. It will eat anything, and it's very toxic, and you just don't want to. We had one case where a family, 2 very small children, had clogged their kitchen sink, no carburetor on it. They'd poured 4 bottles of liquid Drano down it to try and get it to clear. This creates like a biohazard situation because we can't touch it. Technically, you're not actually supposed to put it down your drains by law.
Okay.
But so what we have to do is pump it all out and have to dispose of it properly. So just don't even bother. It's so gross and toxic. It's just not even worth it.
Okay.
So, there is
boiling water.
You know what? Boiling water's fine. It's not going to do a lot of stuff. It's not going to pull it down. And if your drains aren't put together properly, it could cause more harm than good. What we've seen in a few houses with plumbers who maybe weren't certified or didn't really know what they were doing, the P-trap, the trap that goes underneath the sink, it's supposed to be together so you can take it apart, but it is supposed to be glued together. What can happen if you put that hot water down? If there's any kind of, if it's loose or anything like that, you're going to get a leak under your sink. It's just not worth it. And it's the same with the baking soda and the vinegar. That might work for the very top layer, but that's not going to do you any favors. Really, it's just not worth it.
Even if it's, you do it like every week or every month or something.
A little bit, fine, but don't put a lot down. We're talking like a tablespoon of baking soda and vinegar, and that's really all you want to put down. You don't want to put a ton of stuff down there. You're actually creating pressure when you do that.
Okay.
Right? So you don't want to create any pressure on your drains at all.
Okay, even if it's not clogged.
Yeah, even if it's not clogged, don't bother.
Okay.
Yeah. Your best case for drain maintenance is don't put rice or wax or anything that you know can congeal. When you are running your carburetor or putting fluids, like if you're draining potatoes, or which is a starch which does build up, or if you're draining off any like chicken or any kind of things that would have fat in it, run water, a lot of water with it.
Okay.
And run it cold. Cold will cause that fat to congeal, and it'll give it a better chance to go down. When you melt the fat, it just sticks to the side. Cold water.
Okay, cold water.
Yeah.
So every week, say it's my sink in the bathroom.
Yes.
What should I do?
Well, the best thing with sinks in the bathroom is to have them maintained once a year if it's a case where you're getting a slow drainage problem. If you've got a slow drain that continually backs up, one of two things is you either have a lot of hair like I do, and you can pull that hair out just by using, you can get them at the hardware store. The smaller snakes, they're about that big, a little bit of a curly Q on the end. You can do that, and that just gets in to the top bit of them. You don't want to go any further than that. As soon as you start pushing things through there, you're going to want to make sure a plumber's doing that, not yourself. And what do they say? Homeowners should never mess with gas, electricity, or water. Those are your big three. Or water. Yeah. Don't mess with gas, electricity, or water. Gas blows up, electricity shocks you, and water ruins everything. Yeah. So those are your big three. But yeah, there's lots of YouTube videos out there that show you how to unclog a drain. Some of them are useful for the top end of the drain. So say if it's your kitchen sink and it's just at the very top before it goes down through the P-trap, then great. Clean it all out. That's great. Same kind of thing what you did with your dishwasher. Just stuck a little thing down there, pulled it out. Don't use coat hangers. Seriously, don't use coat hangers.
Okay.
Use the little things that you can get at the hardware stores. I know up here at Home Hardware, they have all these great little gadgets and stuff, and I'm pretty sure Lowe's has like a whole section of homeowner little gadget things, and that's great. So shower drains and sink drains. Sink drains, mostly toothpaste that you get the problems with. That stuff turns to rock solid when it gets dry. So anytime you're running, make sure you run lots of water when you're rinsing. You don't need to leave the water running while you're brushing, obviously, because we want to conserve water. But when you're spitting out, or if there's any toothpaste that you're pushing down, make sure you're running lots of water.
Okay.
That's always the solution to keep your drains as clean as possible. You're going to get buildup over the years as it is. It doesn't make a difference. There's nothing you can do about it. But to keep it running as much as you can, as long as you can, lots of water.
Okay. So there's nothing I can basically do in the bathroom to keep it clean other than just run lots of water through that.
Yeah. Don't, when guys are shaving, like my husband has a little bit of a beard, don't let the hair go down the sink. Don't rinse it all down the sink. When you're brushing your hair and a few pieces get in the sink, don't let it go down the sink. Pick it out and put it down. I know there's a crazy thing where guys put this thing on the mirror and then they shave and collect it. You can use toilet paper, you can use whatever you want. Just the more stuff you can keep out of the drain,
okay,
the better you're going to be in the long run.
Okay. I didn't think of that with my bathroom. I do that with my garbage disposal.
Yes.
I pull every potato peels, everything, and I just pull it out of the sink and I put it in the garbage.
Yes.
I don't run it through my garbage disposal anymore.
Yeah.
We got a big problem in our other house with eggshells, and it probably grinds it up real small, but they do not decompose.
Yeah, and eggshells are not a good thing to put down your carburetor. Just not. I mean, really, we're talking about food that's on your plate from when you've eaten. That's really all that should be going down your carburetor.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Coffee grinds, eggshells, rice, any kind of rice that's been sitting in water. We had one young man had a candle and the wax had gotten all down, and so he just poured it off into the sink. Well, what happens When it meets cold, it just goes, "Rrr," and he literally caused a plug. It was a plug. So we
Yeah.
had to get in there, and trying to pull all that stuff out, it's just a nightmare. It's just going to cost you lots of money, and don't do it. Just don't do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put out lots of water.
Yes, lots of water. And always run your water before you turn on your carburetor, while your carburetor is on, and then turn your carburetor off and keep the water running for a little bit. The
Okay.
more water that flushes that stuff down, the better. Because when you turn off your carburetor and you turn the water off right at the same time, anything that was in your carburetor, the last bits of it, will just be sitting in your P trap. If
Okay.
it dries up or anything like that, or moves through, it doesn't move through far enough. If you can get it out to the bigger sections of the pipes where it down vents or out to the main line, then you have a much better chance of keeping things running smoothly.
Okay. And cold water, not hot water.
Not hot water, cold water.
And put oranges and lemons down there. Grind
Oranges and lemon if your carburetor is big enough to handle them, yes.
to handle them.
But ice cubes, that's your biggest one. Ice cubes, carburetor ice cubes.
Carburate ice cubes.
Yep, we do it I probably do it every week, just mostly because I like the sound. It scares the heck out of the kids. It's awesome. Sounds terrible, but it's really good for your carburetor. It also keeps the lugs moving. It lubricates everything. It's really good.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
It'll solve my problem with my ice maker too, because I wasn't
Using it enough, yeah.
I wasn't dumping it out enough. I had a huge ice buildup on the bottom of my ice maker, and it wasn't functioning, and it was overflowing. It was crazy.
Yeah, and that'll give you something to do. Just take some of that ice, throw it down there. I mean, we're not talking, it doesn't need to be tons. I use a 4-cup measuring container, and I just fill that up and throw it down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great. Wow. Fun.
Yeah.
How do you find a good plumber?
Oh, yeah. Recommendations from friends is probably my number one.
Okay.
It's so hard. Plumbers like us who the reason Stephen and I started the business over 10 years ago was because the company Stephen was previously working for were not nice people. They wanted Stephen to sell things that weren't necessary, or do things that really didn't need to be done, or pressure people into buying stuff. I think when you have a conversation with the people on the phone booking the appointment, that should be your first indication. When we answer the phone, we say, Tap2Drain Plumbing, Jennifer speaking. How can I make you smile? And really, that's what we're here for, right? That's what we're here for. I figure the way to stay in business forever and ever and ever is to do a really great job all the time. And if you make a mistake, which we're human and it does happen, own up to it and make it right.
Yeah.
So recommendations from friends, I think, is probably the number one.
Okay.
Number two, I would be looking at Google reviews and Better Business Bureau reviews. Like, we have an A+ rating and 5 stars everywhere.
Okay. And I would do too, but
yeah, and that's the thing. And I think if you're doing renovations and stuff like that, I think a lot of that gut instinct really needs to be played. Get that gut instinct. Contracts. A lot of plumbers will not have you a written contract or give you a quote up front.
okay.
We quote everything up front. There's no surprises. If anything comes up while we're doing the job that's weird, we stop what we're doing and we go and talk to people and just make sure that you have a good rapport with that person. And that's, again, why I say, if a friend of yours has used this plumber and they like them, then that's probably a good indication that somebody's really good.
Should I ever just call the plumber just on a routine maintenance? I mean, nothing's
Absolutely.
right now. Okay.
There's several things in your home that can use routine maintenance. So in our company, I created a thing called the Tap2Drain Club. And once a year, we come in and do a 323-point visual inspection of all the visual plumbing in the home. We do any adjustments to toilet seats if they're a little bit loose, water adjustments, temperature adjustments on a hot water tank. But what really the point of doing this is, we need to go and look at the condition of your shutoffs. So those little things underneath the sink that will turn the water off, if you have them or not. You should on every sink, on toilets. We check to make sure that there's no signs of anything leaking. A lot of the times what happens is people don't realize that's a leak until the whole ceiling falls down.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas because our guys have so many years of experience, they can say, yeah, no, this is not right. We need to look into this and we need to fix this.
Uh,
So what we do is we provide every year a written inspection of all the pieces of your home that we can inspect: hot
okay.
water tanks, furnaces, air conditioning units, if that's the case, all of the visual plumbing underneath all of your sinks, anything that we can see in the mechanical room where your water main shutoff is. Big tip, huge hot tip. Every homeowner should know where their water main and their gas main shutoffs are.
Okay.
Because even if you have a shutoff underneath your sink, if you have a problem and you can't find out where it is, shut the water off.
Yeah.
Shut the water off. It's easy to do. It's one lever. In fact, I actually have one over there. I'll show you later. It's one lever. Shut the water off to the house. What that does is where the water comes into the house and where it's distributed to the rest of the house, it shuts it off right there.
Okay.
So that you need to know where that is.
If I'm going on vacation, should I shut my water off to the house?
Depends on your insurance. A lot of insurance companies, at least in Canada, I don't know about insurance companies in the States, but I assume it's the same type of thing. If you're going on holidays, you need to have somebody into your house every 48 hours to inspect.
Okay.
So they have to go downstairs to where the mechanical rooms. They can't just open the door and go, yeah, looks good. No, that doesn't work.
Okay.
If you are going on a long holiday, then yes, and nobody's coming into your house, yeah, shut the water off, shut the gas off. Just shut it off right where it comes into the house. It can't hurt anything. You can drain the system down by opening the lowest faucet. So for like us in the bathroom downstairs, you just open the faucet, drain the system out.
Okay.
Done. No water in the system, nothing to work. The alternative to that, which I highly recommend, is something called an aqua trip. I know we can get them all over Canada. We sell them exclusively in this area, and I'm pretty sure you can get them down in the States too. I'd have to find out about that. But what that does is it's a automatic shut off. So if you've ever had a leak in your house, you know that's a lot of water and it goes everywhere. There's no containing it, and water's lazy, so it goes anywhere that it can, through light fixtures, in through walls, drywall, sucking it up. It's gross, right?
Mm-hmm.
So what the aqua trip does is it's a system that goes in between your water main and your pressure reducing valve, where the water pressure is reduced to go into your home, and it goes in there and it detects leaks on the system. So if your water's running for any whatever time you set, in my house I have it set for 10 minutes. I also have a teenage boy who likes to go in the shower forever and ever and ever. And what it does, when it gets to that 10-minute mark, the water starts to pulse, and then it'll shut the whole house off. You can't get any more water. And the nifty thing about this system is it comes with a remote. So if you're going to water the grass and you need the water to run longer than 10 minutes, you can override that for a 3-hour space. If you're going on holidays, it has a holiday mode. So it'll actually shut the water down in the house faster if it detects any water leaking for whatever time span you put it at. So if you're going on holidays and your holiday mode is set at 1 minute, if you do get a leak in the house, say maybe your hot water tank goes, or one of your pipes burst or something, it will actually shut the water main down at the house. And you also get big fat discounts from your home insurance, because water leaks are the #1 cause of insurance damage in most homes.
Yeah.
At least in Canada anyway.
No, I think it's true here too.
Yeah, it is. People just don't realize, because really, it's like your car. You get in, you drive it. You get into your house, you don't check stuff out. And that's why we do that big 323 inspection every year. Your hot water tank stores, well, in most cases, 60 US gallons of water. If that sucker goes, that's a lot of water. It's a lot of water. And they do go.
Their pipes froze and burst.
Yeah.
It collapsed the house, because so the whole house collapsed, destroying all the contents of the house.
Oh God.
And then to make it worse, the insurance company didn't pay anything because it was, I guess, neglect.
Yeah.
And
that's the thing.
Things absolutely destroyed. It was like worse than a fire.
Yeah. Yeah, it is worse than a fire, because at least some things can be recovered in a fire. Once it's water damage, that's it. It's toast.
And
there's nothing.
Do it, but they were gone. It wasn't maintained. Your thing.
Yeah. See, and all they needed to do was shut the water off, drain down the pipes, and they can't freeze. If there's no water in them, they can't freeze. Yeah. And that's, the funny thing is about freezing pipes. I mean, in our area, we don't get a ton of it. right? It just doesn't get that enough cold long enough, right? And most people are in their homes and they're warm and they're heated and it's fine. Insulating pipes on outside walls, and actually in BC plumbing code, which I'm assuming for Washington State because we're so close and so pretty much the same, pipes can't be at the outer walls. They have to be insulated on the inside walls.
Yeah.
So that prevents a lot of that from happening. Cabins, we get that a lot on. But one big hot tip, in the winter time, take your hoses off your hose bibs.
Yes.
Yeah. What happens is the water freezes in the hose, pushes back into the hose bib, and then come springtime, you turn it on, it's leaking everywhere. And what it does is it'll actually leak back into the house because it cracks the copper fittings.
Okay.
Yeah, take your hose bibs off in the wintertime. You don't need to drain it down. You don't need to do anything special other than unscrew the hose. That's it. Unscrew the hose. I don't know.
I will put that on the list.
Yeah, that's a big one.
I got all of them off.
Yeah, good. See? Smart.
I will add that to the list.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So the Bio One, would that maintain my pipes?
Your drain pipes, yes.
Okay. And
water pipes, you don't put anything in your water pipes.
Yeah, my drain pipes. I have a question. Oh, when you come for your like maintenance, would it ever be good to just say, I want it cleared out to my main thing?
Yeah, there are situations where that might be applicable. If you've had a continuously slow drain in one part of your house,
no, we haven't.
Then don't bother. Really, it's not necessary. You can if you want to. We're never going to stop you from getting what you want. But our recommendation would be, the only reason you would do that is if you've got something that's running slow. Now, you can always tell if you've got a problem in your main, if the lowest bathroom in your, or laundry room or floor drain or whatever is the lowest point in your house, you can smell sewer gas through, or you're getting backup through there, right? Because you've got all that pipe in the house, all of it can fill up before it gets to the top and before you have an issue. A lot of the times we have a lot of septic tanks here. So the septic tank will be full and there's nowhere for it to go. So it starts backing up the sewer. Then it starts filling the house. So the first thing we do is empty the septic tank. Then we go through and clean everything out. Your biggest thing, if drain maintenance, really using Bio One is your biggest. That's great. Every month you put 2 ounces down every drain in your house at night before you go to bed, and that will keep you running free and clear, unless you get an actual clog of, like somebody flushed a diaper. That won't help that situation. Yeah.
They go down accidentally.
Yeah, they do. It happens. We have how many action figures we've pulled out of toilets.
So every month, Bio One.
Yeah.
Down each drain.
Yeah.
Ice. Keep things out. Don't wash the hair down there.
Yeah, don't put the hair down it. Yeah, when you're in the shower and you're doing your thing and your hands come off, you got hair on your hands, just give it a roll and put it off to the side and put it in the garbage later. Don't flush it down the toilet. It's the same drain you're going down, so it's not going to help you. Just take it out as much as you can. I mean, some is going to get down. And, when you're cleaning the drains, I know I do this. When I'm cleaning the drains, I use a toothbrush to get onto the insides. Sometimes you can get some of that goop out just by using a toothbrush.
Okay, so a little drain thing off.
Yeah, and just get right in there and kind of clean up that. And you can see when you're cleaning the drains, you'll get that black sludge kind of stuff. That's the biologics that the Bio One will eat. Okay. Yeah.
Okay. Great.
Also helps with stinky drains too.
Okay. Yeah. The bathtub drain, does that come off?
Yes, depending on what type you have. If it's a pop-up one where you have to pull it up and down.
Yeah. No, it's just like a grate over there.
Yeah, you can pop that off. You should be able to just take a screwdriver. There should be a little notch on the side, and you should be able to pop that off, and then it just pops back down again. Or it might unscrew, like if you've got a soaker tub, a lot of them have screwable ones. Other ones, you have to release something at the back to pull it out. but for the most part, they're mostly nowadays are the screw ones where you just unscrew it and screw it back in again.
No, mine's a 1958, whatever they did in 1958.
Yeah, I mean, it could have been anything. But just see, if you're pulling on it and looking at it, you can see kind of how it's attached. Some of them, if they're pull up and down one, like on the back of a sink, where you pull the up and down, there's a piece of rod that goes that way and a rod that goes that way. You can unhook that from underneath the sink and pull it out.
Yes.
Yes.
So that's good to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you can get down in there and you can get all that out.
I know. I've got pictures now of the yuck.
Yeah.
Thank you. Anything else, Jennifer?
No, I think that's pretty good. I mean, the biggest thing is don't put stuff down your drains that should be going down your drains. That's your number one. If you do end up having a problem, it's either a clog or maybe a pipe has dropped. It has to have a right amount of grade for stuff to run down it. If you get a pipe that does this, it's not going to work no matter how much Pile 1 you put down or how often you clean it, it's still going to back up. So when you have some type of inspection yearly, or if you notice a drain is starting to run slow, deal with it before it becomes a problem.
Okay.
It's easier to fix one drain than it is to clean the whole entire house.
Yeah. Yeah.
Save yourself some money.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Anytime.
Tap2Drain. Yes. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hope to
Next time we should talk about water filters.
water filters.
Yeah, and quality of water, because it's the same for you guys as it is for us.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Let's schedule that.
Let's do that. All right. Anytime.
Uh-huh.
Thank you.
Uh-huh. Bye-bye.
Bye. Did that work? Did you turn the recording off?
Uh,
I think it's still recording.